You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 7th of April. PM Modi wraps up Colombo visit with defence, energy and infrastructure deals. Crown and chaos, Nepal sees surge in pro-monarchy protests. And POJK residents cry for help over crumbling infrastructure. And now for all the details, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi this past weekend concluded a significant three-day visit to Sri Lanka. The reciprocal visit by Indian Prime Minister is the first by any foreign leaders in Dissanayke's administration and comes months after the new president visited New Delhi for his first foreign visit. A report.
With an aim towards enhancing New Delhi's regional outreach, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi concluded a significant visit to Sri Lanka. On the invitation of President Anura Kumara Dissanayake, the Indian Prime Minister arrived in Colombo on Friday for a state visit after concluding his engagements in Bangkok for the BIMSTEC summit. During his stay in Colombo, PM Modi became the first foreign leader hosted by President Dissanayake since the latter assumed office in September 2024. Holding bilateral talks with President Dissanayake, Modi reviewed cooperation in the fields of connectivity, development cooperation, economic ties, defense relations, reconciliation and fishermen issues. The visit also saw a landmark MOU on defense cooperation between India and Sri Lanka, a first in their bilateral history since the withdrawal of the Indian peacekeeping force over 3 decades ago. In a joint press statement, PM Modi emphasized the interconnected security interests of both the nations. President Dissanayake reciprocated by assuring that Sri Lankan territory will not be allowed to be used by anyone to undermine India's security. Addressing New Delhi's apprehensions about foreign naval presence, notably from China, in Sri Lankan waters. Talking about the contentious issue of fishermen's livelihoods, a persistent strain in relations, PM Modi highlighted the need for a humane approach to resolve the matter.
फ्रेंड, हमारा मानना है कि हमारे सुरक्षा हित समान है। दोनों देशों की सुरक्षा एक दूसरे से जुड़ी है और एक दूसरे पर निर्भर है। भारत के हितों के प्रति उनकी संवेदनाओं के लिए मैं राष्ट्रपति दिसानायक का आभारी हूं। रक्षा सहयोग में संपन्न किए गए महत्वपूर्ण समझौते का हम स्वागत करते हैं। कोलंबो सिक्योरिटी कॉन्क्लेव और हिंद महासागर में सुरक्षा सहयोग पर भी मिलकर काम करने के लिए हम सहमत हैं।
දීවර ගැටලු සඳහා තිරසර විසඳුමක් ලබා දීමට සහයෝගී ප්‍රවේශයක් ඇති අවශ්‍යතාව අප සාකච්ඡා කළා. දෙරටේම තහනම් ආම්පන්නයක් වන පතුලේ ඇදගෙන යන දැල් ආම්පන්න ක්‍රමයේ මගින් සිදුවන දැඩි පාරිසරික හානිය හඳුනා ගනිමින් මෙම ක්‍රියාව නැවැත්වීම සහ නීති විරෝධී වාර්තා නොකළ සහ නියාමනය නොකළ මසුන් ඇල්ලීම මැඩ පැවැත්වීමට පියවර ගන්න ලෙස අප ඉල්ලා සිටියා. අද දින බලශක්ති ආරක්ෂක සහයෝගිතාවේ සෞඛ්‍යංශ සහයෝගිතාවේ යටිතල පහසුකම් ව්‍යාපෘති සහ ණය ප්‍රතිවගත කිරීම ආදී ක්ෂේත්‍රවලට අදාළ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ ඉන්දියාව අතර දීපාර්ශ්වික විසඳුම් කීපයක් වුවමාරු කර ගැනීමේ අවස්ථාවල සහභාගී වීම ගැන අප සතුටු වෙනවා. නිසැකම අපගේ සම්බන්ධතාවයේ තවත් ඉදිරි පියවරක්.
Beyond defense and fishing, the visit saw the signing of 7 MOUs covering energy, digitization, health and trade. Both the leaders also jointly launched railway projects, including an upgraded line between Maho and Omanthai and a modern signalling system for the Maho-Anuradhapura section, funded by Indian assistance. The visit comes at a time when Sri Lanka navigates its delicate balancing act between India and China, its largest bilateral creditor. Dissanayake has maintained Colombo will not get sandwiched between Beijing and New Delhi, emphasizing a neutral foreign policy.
And in Myanmar's hour of need, the Indian Army's field hospital is serving as a lifeline under Operation Brahma, treating hundreds amid challenging conditions. With timely aid deliveries, India has emerged as the first responder, leading the global relief effort after the devastating earthquake.
The Indian Army's field hospital in Mandalay, part of India's mega aid plan Operation Brahma, continues to aid Myanmar's earthquake victims. On day 6, it had treated 859 patients, performed 20-plus major surgeries, 3,000-plus lab tests, and over 300 x-rays, all under tough conditions. Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, Myanmar's prime minister and military chief, visited the hospital on Sunday. He met survivors and thanked the Indian government and people for their timely support. Earlier on Sunday, an IAF-C-17 aircraft delivered supplies for the field hospital and food aid for affected communities. A day earlier, India sent 442 tons of food, including rice, oil, noodles, and biscuits, via INS Gharial, handed over at Thalawa port. Operation Brahma, India's relief mission, was launched immediately after the 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck Myanmar on March 28th, killing thousands. The country continues to grapple with the aftermath, and India, acting swiftly as the first responder, has taken a lead role in supporting rescue, relief, and recovery efforts.
Once a Hindu kingdom ruled by kings, Nepal embraced democracy in 2008 after a turbulent royal downfall. But now echoes from the past are growing louder. Thousands have taken to the streets demanding the return of the Shah monarchy and a Hindu state. Why are Nepalis looking back? What's fueling this royal resurgence? And how is the government responding? Let's break it down for you.
Nestled between India and China, Nepal is a land of ancient gods, brave warriors and sky-touching peaks. After abolishing its monarchy and embracing democracy, hopes were high, but years of instability, corruption and unmet promises have sparked mass protests demanding a return to monarchy and a Hindu state. So what is fueling this royalist revival? ANI explains. This is Nepal, a nation with a history as dramatic as its towering Himalayas. Today, the country is witnessing a surge of pro-monarchy protests. Thousands are calling for the return of the Shah dynasty and the reinstatement of Nepal as a Hindu kingdom. Nepal's political journey is a gripping tale of kings, uprisings, and dramatic twists. For over 240 years, from 1769 to 2008, the Shah kings ruled a Hindu kingdom, with monarchs seen as divine. In 1990, mass protests pushed King Birendra to accept a constitutional monarchy. But in 2001, tragedy struck, the royal massacre. Crown Prince Dipendra allegedly killed King Birendra, Queen Aishwarya and others before taking his own life. Gyanendra, the king's brother, then took the throne. Gyanendra's decision in 2005 to seize absolute power backfired, sparking massive protests. By 2006, he was forced to restore democracy, and in 2008, Nepal abolished the monarchy, becoming a secular democratic republic. Today's protests reflect deep frustration over political instability, corruption, and economic hardship, leading many to look back to the monarchy with new hope.
संसार में होते हैं तो दिखना ही है। आपने बेलायत में दिखा है, उधर राज है, शाही नहीं। हम लोग क्या चाहते हैं कि राज संस्था एक पावर विहीन राज संस्था रहे और मुल्क बहुदलीय प्रजातंत्र और उदारवाद के मान्यता पर चले। ये हम लोग देखने चाहते हैं।
Since abolishing the monarchy in 2008, Nepal has seen 13 governments in 17 years, fueling instability, weak governance, and public frustration. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has blamed former King Gyanendra Shah for inciting the recent violent pro-monarchy protests in Kathmandu, which left 2 dead and over 110 injured, including 77 security personnel. Prime Minister Oli labelled the unrest a terrorist act, accusing the former king of disrupting social harmony and aligning with loan defaulters to fuel division for personal ambition.
आपराधिक घटनामा संलग्न कसैले पनि उन्मुक्ति पाउँदैन, पाउनुहुन्न। यसमा पूर्व राजा शाहले पनि उन्मुक्ति पाउनुहुन्न। फेरि राजा बन्छु, व्यवस्था मास्छु भन्नेले यी सबै श्रृङ्खलाबद्ध घटनामा आफ्नो धारणा सार्वजनिक गर्नु पर्दैन। मानिसलाई मर्नलाई दुरुस्तान गर्ने जनकमान्डर, इतिहासले कुनामा फ्याँकेका व्यक्ति, अभियानका संयोजक, धनजनको क्षति र लुटपाट, शासक बन्ने मनसुबा।
The Nepal government has cut security detail of former King Gyanendra from 25 to 16, signalling his diminished status. Meanwhile, Kathmandu city authorities fined him 793,000 Nepalese rupees, approximately $5,900 for environmental damage and public property destruction during the protests. Many believe Nepal was more stable and self-reliant under the monarchy. Today the country struggles with political chaos and economic decline. Religion is another key factor. Once a Hindu kingdom, Nepal became a secular state in 2008, leaving many feeling it lost its cultural identity. This has fueled protests, with crowds waving the old royal flag and chanting, "Bring back our king." Frustrated with corrupt politicians, many now see the monarchy as a symbol of honest and disciplined leadership.
म कसैको लागि हैन, म देशको लागि आएर for the motherland, for our pride, for the country.
The big question now, is Nepal's monarchy on the verge of a comeback, or is this just another passing political storm?
And Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli termed his meeting with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi fruitful and progressive as he returned to Kathmandu after participating in the BIMSTEC summit. Talking to reporters, Oli emphasized the positive outcomes of the discussion as he highlighted that both leaders have made the commitment that Nepal-India relations will be taken to new heights, further deepening it, covering wider aspects and solving the problems that arise over time. He added it is common that neighbours will encounter problems and said they are resolved through dialogue. He also addressed speculation about PM Modi's attendance at the upcoming Sagarmatha Samvad summit, clarifying that Modi would not attend in person due to a pre-scheduled European visit. He stressed that Nepal and India share a mutual understanding to resolve minor disputes through communication, asserting that his visit to India would happen in due time. The sideline meeting in Bangkok between PM Modi and his Nepalese counterpart is the second such meeting after Oli returned to power. The two prime ministers had met in the sidelines of the UN General Assembly last year.
हामीले एउटा अठोट गरेका छौं कि नेपाल भारत सम्बन्धलाई अझ व्यापक विस्तृत सुदृढ गर्दै लाने र कुनै सानातिना छिमेकमा त समस्या देखिन पनि त सक्छन् नि कहिलेकाहीँ त्यस्तो भइहाल्यो भने पनि एक आपसमा संवाद गरिहाल्ने र तिनीहरूलाई टुङ्ग्याउने भन्ने कुरा हामीले एउटा गहिरो समझदारी गरेका छौं। यसबाट यो भेटघाटबाट म फलदायी भेटघाट भयो र खुसी छु। उहाँको कुराकानीबाट उहाँ पनि खुसी हुनुहुन्छ भन्ने मैले पाएको छु।
Moving on, Muzaffarabad, the capital of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, is reeling under the weight of collapsing civic infrastructure. From sewage overflows to polluted rivers, residents say the city is crumbling due to poor planning and government apathy. A report.
Muzaffarabad, the capital of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, is struggling with basic civic issues as its infrastructure fails to keep pace with a growing population. Overflowing sewage, water shortages and flooded roads have made daily life difficult. Locals blame poor maintenance and planning for the worsening conditions.
पानी के जो दो बुनियादी मसले हैं, पानी का ज़्यादा होना भी एक मसला है कि ज़्यादा होकर पानी जो ओवरफ्लो कर रहा है उसकी वजह से सड़कें और रास्ते ख़राब हो रहे हैं, और पानी ना होना उसकी वजह से भी लोगों के अंदर लोगों को बड़ी परेशानी का सामना करना पड़ता है। ये वो चीज़ें पानी से रिलेटेड चीज़ें जो है। दूसरा पार्किंग। तीसरा मसला शहर के अंदर पोल्यूशन का भी है कि दरिया देखें, दरियाओं में दरिया इस वक्त आपके बहुत सालों से पिछले कई सालों से गार्बेज डिस्पोजल के कूड़ा क्रिकेट और फुजला को जो ना ठिकाने लगाने का जरिया इस वक्त दरिया है।
From clogged drains to shrinking green spaces, Muzaffarabad's infrastructure seems to be buckling under pressure. Residents have urged the government to step in with long-term solutions, but all in vain.
A Bangladesh court ordered the detention of at least 70 senior lawyers linked to the former Awami League government on Sunday, charging them with attempted murder and assault of fellow advocates during the unrest that ousted ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in August 2024. The detained lawyers, all prominent advocates and members of the Awami League, Hasina's political party, appeared before Dhaka's Metropolitan Sessions Court seeking an extension of their bail, which they had secured for 8 weeks prior. However, the court rejected most of their pleas, sending them into custody. The charges stem from violent clashes during the 2024 protest, which saw a student-led uprising topple Hasina's 15-year regime. Hasina fled to India, a long-standing ally, as protesters stormed her official residence. The unprecedented ruling has, however, raised concern over the situation in Bangladesh, including the judicial overreach and targeting of political affiliates in the aftermath of the student-led uprising. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.